Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group, and joining me, as always, is...
your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
The funshine bear of the show, Evan Aubrey.
Oh my God. And we have a special guest this week, filling in for Ian Davis as he is on his trip. We have Ben's sister, Emma.
Heyo.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. Emma, you're our connection to the Midwest at the moment. You're hunking down in Chicago, big Chicago. And I've heard you've got doing some fun stuff over there.
I sure am. My best friend, Audrey, and I just finished up the release, I guess, of our sketch show, Bimboification. And yeah, it's very exciting and very fun.
It's good stuff. I got some good laughs. It was a fun
Thank
time.
you. Yes, so both Ben and Evan donated to our cause. Evan is actually one of our producers on the show.
Whoa.
Thank you very much.
Emma,
awesome.
I have a question. When I saw it, and is it based on that meme where that lady walks, like it's a sequence of a lady walking, and she like picks up a thing and turns into a bimbo?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Yes.
Reference landed.
Thank you. And also, I just want to say, all of our art was done by Nick Exum. He is incredible, a wonderful graphic designer in LA. We're very grateful that he did all of our art for us.
Well, and yeah, it's so it's like it's like a season's worth of sketches, basically, is what you put together between you and Audrey, like the writing and directing, and then like all your friends or like different colleagues of yours in Chicago, actors, are part of the sketches, and it was a huge production, honestly.
No, we gathered all of our favorite like comedians, artists in Chicago, and we spent all of last summer writing. I think it ended up being 19 sketches or 18 sketches in total. And we filmed them all over like the very beginning of fall. We put them all together, and we finally got to premiere them in the very beginning of June this year. So it was very exciting.
The people want to know, though, is there going to be a season 2?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Even though
okay.
this
Yes.
just happened.
The answer is yes. There will be a season 2.
Oh my gosh.
But
You heard it here first.
You really did hear it here first. But we have not yet like started writing anything or working on anything quite yet. We're just gonna finish up our little donation campaign, finish that all up, and yeah, then we'll get started on the next one. We're very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how do people watch said show?
Yes. So as of right now, there are going to be 4 individual sketches posted on our YouTube channel, which is at Bimbo Production. And we're going to be releasing individual sketches all throughout the summer, every other week. And if you're really, really nice in our DMs, we might send you the link to the full show before we release it to the public.
Nice.
Ooh,
all right.
Yeah.
Only if you're really, really nice, though.
Yeah.
Only if you send us lots of compliments and tell us how hot and funny we are.
Okay. the better than paying an actor is telling them that they're sexy and funny.
Absolutely.
And that they're loved and adored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about
Validation.
the flattery.
Yes.
Validation. That's what I live for. The applause.
All right. Well, who cracked?
Sorry, that was off camera.
Is that a spindrift I see?
It is. I had to like hot swap drinks because I just finished my last one that was open pre-show.
swap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to keep them rolling.
Oh, Emma, what do you have?
Is that a poppy? Ooh.
It is a poppy.
Whoa.
Now, I don't know what a poppy is. Is this a new seltzer water?
It's... To be honest, I don't know what it is either. They just ended up in my fridge.
How very Gen Z of you.
Okay.
I know, right? It just showed up in my house one day, and I was like, I guess I'll drink that. It's a prebiotic soda, actually. So,
okay.
yeah, and it's raspberry rose flavored.
Yeah, those
So
are
does it
good.
taste like? Does it have like a yogurty effect or kind of like kombucha?
I've actually never tried this before, so this is gonna be a blind taste test.
Right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
No
you poured
cup
it
with
into
ice.
a glass of ice as better.
there is ice.
Oh my god, yes, we are related.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed.
Emma knows exactly what to do with a soda of any kind, not just probiotic.
That's so true. I could drink any soda any day of the week. I'll drink it.
Yeah.
This is actually really good. Wait.
Poppies are good. I started on the Olipop train, and I quickly moved to poppies instead.
What is Olipop? These are
Same
drinks.
deal.
Okay, they're probiotic sodas. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So this is definitely something I'll keep an eye out next time I'm at a non-Trader Joe's grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeremy. They might have a no flyover country policy where little New Mexico gets looked over.
That's entirely possible. I'm saying that
I don't know what poppy
Step
is
into
either,
your
though,
local
so-
Whole Foods, and you'll find it immediately.
Okay. See,
Or Costco. Do you guys have Costco?
there
I
is
don't
a
remember.
Costco nearby. I could theoretically go there, but I don't have a Costco membership, so I've got to.
Well,
I've got to get
neither
in.
do I.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I said, they just showed
know.
up in my fridge.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely. I'll keep an eye out for it. Scott, your seal of approval, thumbs up. Ben, I saw you tip tapping on a glass or a can. What was it?
I have a there's this brand of canned cocktail that I'm not sure if you guys see often in other places, but it has a Zia symbol on it and everything. And it's from
yes.
New Mexico. I think it's like from Deming or something like that. It's kind of random. It's like a random place in New Mexico, but it is like a canned cocktail specific
Wow.
brand.
Yes.
With New Mexico connections.
Really on the watermelon train still.
Yeah.
I'm on the watermelon train because it's watermelon hibiscus with mint.
Lovely.
What kind of cocktail is it portending to be?
Oh, it's vodka.
Oh, so it's
I
not
actually didn't really pay attention to what alcohol was in it. I just saw the other ingredients and was like, that sounds so refreshing right now.
New Mexico and watermelon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good though.
Uh-huh.
I will say.
Yeah.
I feel like if Jeremy were to try this though, it would get the this tastes like toothpaste vote, because that's how you feel about mint.
Oh, okay. I'm not the biggest fan of mint. I would give that a spin, if you will, not a spin drift, but a taste. You just can't have too much of it in a drink, and it can be tricky around alcohol because you mentioned the toothpaste thing, where it's like mint and alcohol in wrong combo can give you toothpaste vibes, kind of a little like mouthwash experience.
Is it like a variant of the cilantro gene where like you taste cilantro and it tastes like soap, but you taste mint and it tastes like toothpaste?
I think I'm just Pavlov dogged myself into I buy mint flavored toothpaste, and it's what I think mint reminds me of because I'm gonna go after this and brush my teeth with it, and it's gonna be mint flavored.
Jeremy, I just imagine you like hate brushing your teeth every day. Like you're just like, oh god, fucking, I hate this.
This reminds me of brushing my teeth.
Look, I not to brag, but I have excellent dental hygiene. I've never had a cavity, so.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that is a pretty good review. I
Put that on
suppose.
the resume.
Pretty good resume.
Yeah, this mint toothpaste does the job, and you can't change now.
Oh my god.
Kind of situation. I also have a drink. I was at the Trader Joe's, and I picked up a local brew. It's the cream stout from 2nd Street. I've had it before. I'll have it again.
is.
I think it's quite delightful. It's probably not to be rude to 2nd Street, but it's the only really good thing I think they make out of their own microbrewery. Which leads me
They're
to
listening. You know they listen to this
yeah,
show.
they 100% do. Which leads me to my first question for Emma. As we know, big Chicago. You're up in the Midwest. We're drinking some drinks right now. I have to know. Since the last time I asked you, have you had Malort yet?
Complicated relationship.
To be so honest, I don't know if I have. Like,
Okay.
I genuinely don't know at this point.
Oh,
because,
no.
for no, not for like a bad reason. Although I have had some of those nights where I'm like, what was that? But no, so for anyone who doesn't know, in Chicago there is a type of liquor called Malort. And whenever people come to visit Chicago, it's tradition for local Chicagoans to offer people shots of Malort just to try and just to see if they enjoy it.
Nobody
and
does.
it's
We've got some
famously
Chicagoans.
Yeah.
it's
in
famously
the-
really
in the house.
bad.
Yeah.
It tastes like gasoline. So it's and I don't do shots, like, ever. I really don't do shots unless it's like a really crazy night and I don't remember that I'm taking a shot. So I typically don't do that.
I mean, that's
So
the
when people
perfect time to take
offer-
Malort, really.
Yes.
I know, which is why I'm like, I genuinely don't know if I have. But I'm pretty sure that I haven't.
Okay.
And if I have, it's been like a little sip, not like
Yeah.
a shot.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's the last time I was in Chicago, I was like 15, so like obviously I wasn't drinking, but it was the kind of thing where
Pointless kid.
It's the kind of thing where it's like now the next time I go to Chicago, I've asked all of my friends that live there, they've had it, and now when I go there, I have to drink it, and I feel like it's one of those like prank foods that you go to a place and they're like, yeah, it's gross, but it's a thing. You should eat it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll try it. And usually it's not great, and you move on from your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what you should do is you should have a Chicago handshake.
I don't
That's
know.
the good stuff.
I don't know what that is.
What's that?
I believe oh god, I know I'm gonna get it wrong. I believe that it's an old style beer and then a shot of Malort, and you take the shot and then you like chug the entire beer.
Oh.
And that is a Chicago handshake.
Oh, boy.
And
Real how do you
I
do.
actually I know, literally. And I have a friend who recently did this whole like challenge. It was like a passport. Oh my god, it was kind of like your margarita passport in Santa Fe.
Hell yeah.
It was a Chicago handshake passport, and he went to a bunch of bars and he did it.
How many are on
Multiple
there?
in one night.
Yeah.
I think in order to get like the special poster or like sticker or whatever it is that you win when you
The
do
Chicago
it.
Handshake Society.
Yes.
Yeah, part of the Chicago Handshake Society. I think in 1 month you had to have like 15 of them.
Oh my god.
So-
you have to do
Wait.
it in a month?
Wow.
That's
That's like
awful.
the opposite of what the margarita one was like. You are limited to only like so many in a day.
They're
or
like, no,
something,
please, we
right?
have to get rid of this.
No, literally, no. Chicago, we love to drink here. Any bar will have Malort, old style, any of it. So, like, you could literally walk into any bar and they have them, like, lined up for you.
Okay, well, now I know what to say when we go to Chicago is a Chicago handshake. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Get the full experience.
Yeah.
Where's my passport?
I think they only hand out those passports, like, once a year. It's very
Once a
limited.
year.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you, it's a very, like, exclusive society.
Wow, the Margarita
We're gonna
Society
need
in
to find
Santa
someone-
Fe is only $3 at the tourist board office. So the reason I bring this up is a couple of months ago, I sent some a meme to my friends here and my other friend who lives in Chicago, and I was like, Malort's coming back for this summer in a big way. We're adding cicadas to it because it's a cicada year, and obviously the cicadas are in the Midwest kind of situation. So they're like it's like a delicacy. It's like putting a lobster in your drink kind of situation.
the
And it's like that
scorpion
sounds
and the
bad
tequila.
too.
Yeah.
Wait, is it real though? They put cicadas in the
Malort.
drink?
Yeah.
Wait, we talked about
Really?
bug beer
Oh.
before
Yes.
on
There
this
you go.
show.
Whoa. Even I haven't heard of this. That's crazy.
I don't.
tastes like
It
gasoline.
feels like something that was a prank. And have the cicadas already come yet? Was that?
Yes, the cicadas are here.
Okay.
They're not here, like where I am. But I hear that in the suburbs, it's like nasty. It's like I'm hearing that people have like they have like leaf blowers that are specifically for like when you first open your door to keep for all the cicadas from coming in. You have to like blow them out the door.
Man, that's
God.
fun.
Can't even leave your house.
Yeah.
Can't even leave your
blower.
house, and they're like deafening. Like they're very loud. So it's
God.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad. I was really ready for like bugpocalypse up here during my bimbo summer, but I'm really glad that the cicadas, they didn't show their faces.
Okay, yeah. You were too hot.
I will say it is a little bit disappointing because I heard they were supposed to be like extra bad this year because a gene mutated, and apparently they're extra gay and they're extra horny.
Whoa.
So you might not be like, you wouldn't be so opposed to a bugpocalypse ruining your bimbo summer if it meant that it was like extra gay.
This is cicada pride, really.
If it was
Exactly. They came out for the girls. Like,
if the bugpocalypse was just like, if it was one day, if it wasn't like an extended period of time, if it was one day and it was very aggressive, like
if we gave them one day out of the whole year to be proud, prideful.
Yeah, well, they do it once every 17 years or whatever it is, and
well, I don't know if you know this. This year is the year that 2 different broods are emerging at the same time. Yep. One of them is 17 years per like time that they come out, and the other one is 13 years, and this is the first time since the time that Thomas Jefferson was president that these 2 broods have emerged at the same time.
Hell yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, I don't know. Happy Pride to those guys. Like, I hope I see them out there next weekend for the parade.
Cicadas, man, this is like the locust infestation. Oh, God.
Cicadas are funny because it's like you will every summer you'll see like a few kind of situation. They're sitting on a tree, they make a really loud noise, they leave behind their skin kind of situation, all that business. But it's like they're like, yeah, every very strange number, like a prime number of years cycle, they will thousands more will come out and like swarm your existence kind of situation. And it's like you can set a clock to it. And it's like, that's pretty impressive that they're on a schedule of 17 years. They live underground for 17 years. They come up, have sex, and die. And that's it. And it's like, well, there you go. It's a bug's life after all kind of situation.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why you only see a few of them every year is because those are the dumb ones. Those are the ones who are like, oh, it's time. And then they pop up and they're like, oh, I'm the only one. And then they die.
I mean, that is true. Yeah, but hey, cicadas, if we can incorporate them in our recipes, whatever. I think I read a thing where it's like Justin Timberlake put cicadas on his recipes to promote new album, kind of situation. I don't know if this was old news or new news kind of thing, but I read that.
So you're saying extra points today if we can add cicadas?
Well, no, because I didn't plan ahead for this, and obviously Emma's going to decide what the best recipe is. If it has like a cicada category, we can definitely incorporate that, but it's not necessary.
It only gets extra points if they're extra gay and extra horny.
Okay.
There you go.
I guess my last big Chicago food-related question is the week we're recording this, obviously a very important television program is coming back. The Bear Season 3 is returning on in a few days. And I have to know, is this like a thing in Chicago where everyone's like, oh, it's fucking bear time to like put up our beef sandwiches or whatever?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of people in Chicago kind of just ignore the bear. Mm-hmm. Like we enjoy it, but we also are kind of like, we don't need to talk about it. Like, we already kind of know.
I go to a restaurant like that every day.
Honestly, kind of. Like, it is really just based on, like, these random delis and stuff that we have around. Although, I will say, my friends were in town for the Bimbo premiere, and we did go to Mr. Beef, which is where the bear is, like, based on. And it was really chaotic and really scary in there. And,
What was up to?
And the man who, like, took my order just immediately was like, what do you want? Go! Like, get out of here! And I was like, oh my god. Like, it was just really jarring. And, like, I knew it would be, but, like, not like that. I've never been spoken to like that in my life.
All right. Well, there you go.
No, everyone at Mr. Beef is great. I don't want anyone to think that I hate Mr. Beef. Actually, the food was fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, was the sandwich good or whatever you had?
It was very, very yummy.
Oh, well, there you go.
They know what they're doing there.
Yeah, yelling at people. Not to be stereotypical of Chicago. I saw a movie this weekend. It was called The Bike Riders, and it's about a biker gang in the 60s in Chicago. And let me tell you, that movie's just thick with people yelling at each other in really silly Chicago accents. And it's been kind of... So imagine Tom Hardy, and he sounds like Marlon Brando. He's like, I'm in Chicago, kind of the whole time. And it's this really weird experience where you're like, there's a bunch of like British people trying to pretend they're from the Midwest in this movie. And it's... I don't know if they succeed, but it's put me in a Windy City state of mind. So I'm glad you could bring that to the show.
You got that
week.
Chicago dog in you.
Yes, you got that Chicago dog.
Shit. Oh,
Yeah, I hope one of us did a hot dog Chicago style.
Not quite, but that would have been good.
Deep dish pizza. What's another thing Chicago food famous? Malort. Those are the three things I think of basically. Is there anything else? What's like? You step off the plane at O'Hare and they're like, you've got to try. Well, obviously popcorn as well. That's a big thing.
Chicago style pop.
Yes.
Yeah. Nuts on Clark. Shout out Nuts on Clark. They're great. They know what they're doing.
Is that where I get popcorn?
It sure is.
Okay.
Not when you get nuts, apparently.
No, I don't even know if they sell nuts there, which is kind of crazy. I feel like I've only ever gotten popcorn there.
Okay.
They're like down the street from Wrigleyville. So, that's where you get your popcorn before you go see the Cubs.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, if any of our listeners are in Chicago, send us some hot tips for fun Chicago food themes that we can use in the future. All right. Speaking of beverages, Evan, I've heard you're going to take us on a little journey with one this week with Magic Mind.
Yeah, so as the real fans know, both Ian and myself are on a Magic Mind journey. Basically just seeing how we feel after taking it, over a prolonged period of time, how it's affecting our bodies, how it's affecting our minds, how it's affecting our, honestly, just like our day-to-days, and so I'm feeling great. I'm honestly, like, I love taking it with my coffee. I enjoy kind of like, I'll do my, my nice little latte or whatever in the morning, and I'll like follow up like late morning, early afternoon with a little Magic Mind, and I feel like that gets me through, because I'm one for the 2:30 p.m. like sleepy honk shoe time.
Yeah,
right. And I just like can't get through the workday. But with Magic Mind, I'm absolutely just like ready to go. I can power through, write all my emails, get all my work done. Feeling less stressed. I feel like caffeine in the afternoon gets me a little anxious.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that time of the day is a perfect time to have like a sweet little treat, to give yourself just a little bit of a boost to make it through the rest of the day. So this sounds like a perfect little energy performance enhancing shot.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you're a matcha fan like myself, you'll definitely enjoy this. There's some delicious matcha in every little shot. And Jeremy, can you tell the folks at home how they can possibly get their own Magic Mind at home?
Oh, 100%. So for a limited time, you can head on over and get 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your one-time purchase with the code IChooseYou20 at checkout. And you can claim that at magicmind.com/IChooseYou. Once again, that's IChooseYou20 at checkout at magicmind.com/IChooseYou. Usually, this is the section of the show where I say who won last week, but we've been recording ahead of time in advance, and I believe the winner of last week was me or Ian.
I think so.
Yes, but it's not that's not going to super impact our special guest section of the show. But each week here on I Choose You, we randomly select a Pokemon to cook and eat. We prepare recipes with one another, and then we share among each other the recipes. And this week, since we have a guest, they will decide in a very authoritarian manner who has the best recipe. And they will be like God coming down from the heavens. That we will be crowned with the champion of the week kind of situation.
Does God crown a champion of the week?
No, I love that. I love to be God.
That is, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to church, but I assume that's what happens. Is every week you go and someone gets crowned the champion of the week for being
pastor puts
the
you
most
up and-
spiritual.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like a rotating thing through the congregation, so no one feels left out kind of situation.
It's like employee of the week.
Yeah.
Participation crowd.
Yes.
It's all about equality.
Yes. But Emma, you'll be in the place of God. The recipes you'll
Perfect.
be judged this week are going to be based around the Pokemon Ursaluna, which is the final evolution of Teddy Ursa. It's a special new version of that Pokemon introduced in Legends Arceus, and you get to ride it in that game. You fight it in a boss fight, and then you can ride it around like a truck in the wild.
Are you serious?
Spoilers.
Yes.
That is how that game. It's like one of the first couple of bosses.
Yes.
And then you get the opportunity to ride it.
Yeah. That's,
Okay, I did do research on this Pokemon ahead of time, and I did not know that you could ride it. I will say, I feel like this is the perfect Pokemon for me to be on this week, because not only am I like a witchy gay who loves the moon, but bears are also famously my favorite animal of all time.
Yeah.
So when
Excellent.
I looked up this gal, I knew we'd be besties.
Yeah, and you thought that me bringing up the bear was just a cheeky reference to Chicago, but no, it ties into the Pokemon as well. It all comes together, kind of situation.
Very well thought out, this show.
Yes, I mean Chicago is very bear forward as a like society.
True.
It's true.
Chicago
we got the
Bears,
Bears, we
the
got the
Cubs.
Mr. Beef.
Those are really the only two things is your two major sports teams. But it is interesting that they're both bear related. I also don't really think of the Midwest as being like prime bear territory.
Yeah, I don't think there are many bears there.
We just love them. We really do. They're so cute. Are you kidding?
I mean, you're actually fulfilling the niche of Ian in this regard, because we know that Ian loves bears of the fat variety, especially.
Yes.
Me too. When Ian wrote that song for Fat Bear Week, it was the best day of my life. Like
We were in Chicago, actually. I remember we were talking about it.
Oh.
When it got used by like the official Fat Bear Week like social media page or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. When I saw that, I feel like I started crying a little bit. Like I was so happy.
Well, I mean,
I was happy for Ian. I was happy for the Bears. Like I just what a perfect union of two of my favorite
Finally
things.
getting the recognition they deserved.
Yes. They should have broadcast that at a Bears game. That'd have been funny.
That would be excellent. Oh my god, who do I bring that to?
I don't know who runs the Bears. Probably some asshole, but it's definitely a possibility, and I think they should look into it. But yeah, Ursaluna, the Blood Moon Pokemon. Ooh, the Blood Moon rises kind of situation, and it's gonna regenerate our favorite recipes. I've been talking a lot already, so let's throw it to somebody else. Let's start with Ben. What's your recipe this week?
Okay, well, first of all, I realized that technically this isn't the right generation, maybe. It's like, I guess technically the right generation of games, but it's not the right, like, region, right, of Pokemon that we've been doing. So I don't know if it means anything to us, but it is a little bit of a different situation.
It's on the Generation 8 list in the National Pokédex
Yeah.
on Bulbapedia, so it counts. It's going to it's going to be there as being incorporated. We are going to allow it.
Okay, just wanted to state that for any technicalities.
Some
Technicality-minded people.
people pushing up their glasses, being actually.
Yeah. And I agree that this is a kind of the perfect Pokemon for Emma to be judging on, because you know a lot about bears. The thing that I was thinking of is that this is a Pokemon that's ground and normal type. It's ground type for whatever reason. It's got maybe like dirt on it and stuff.
I think it lives in the woods. It might live in a cave. Those are in the
It's
ground.
on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that for our purposes, also the Blood Moon one is just kind of creepy. I don't like it. It's a little too scary.
No, I kind of like him.
It's definitely like this bear has been to war kind of situation.
Yeah, like she has character.
Seen some stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little like, I don't know, it's kind of like I guess it's maybe like armor or something on its face, but it almost looks like a skin mask or something.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's a little too much.
It's a little kind of like a leather face kind of situation where it's like, yeah, I've got a mask made out of skin kind of situation.
Right. Was this like earned in
Battle?
the valor of battle?
Hell
like,
yeah.
is that what this came from?
Yeah, if a bear fought another bear and then wore that bear's skin as armor, that would be cool.
See, that's too much for me.
Um,
So I'm steering clear of the blood moon variation. And you know, I'm trying to search for inspiration. I'm looking at ground. I'm thinking, what if we took this meat and ground it?
Okay.
So I think we're gonna use some ground Ursaluna meat for a Ursaluna salad sandwich, much like a tuna salad.
Nice.
okay, there you go. That's the rhyme.
Yeah. So for your Ursaluna salad, you're gonna take some Ursaluna ground meat, some mayonnaise, some celery. I almost said cereal for some reason. Some celery, red onion, parsley, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper. Mix it all together in a big bowl. I feel like the typical like tuna salad sandwich move is to like make enough for like maybe a couple days worth of sandwiches, like for lunches and whatnot. And then I, for whatever reason, was like, there's got to be someone who's made full moon bread. Like,
Is there?
that combination of words has to mean something to someone,
Well,
right?
we have moon pies. Why can't we have moon bread?
Yeah. Well, and at first, I was thinking of half moon cookies or like half moon like croissants or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's like that aesthetic in certain food, but not a whole lot came up when I searched full moon bread. The only thing that did come up as a very specific recipe was this Tumblr post of
The most reliable place to get recipes.
yeah. Well, they said, tonight I made this deliciousness and it was glorious. This is from 2015, by the way.
It's so it's vintage.
It's
Peak Tumblr time.
It is. I modified my basic bread recipe to make a full moon bread for protection in all caps. This is also my lugnazad loaf. After all, I did harvest some of the ingredients myself.
Okay. All right.
Somewhat of a loaf man myself.
Okay.
If you say so.
So anyway, I mean, all 2015 Tumblr aside, it does seem like a pretty solid recipe for just like kind of a like thick kind of bread that I imagine would be great for sandwiches. There is a little section that included some sort of pentagram or some sort of sigil of some sort of protection. I don't think you really need that, but that was part of the recipe.
But Ben, what if
anyway,
my sandwich needs to be protected? What if it's like it protects it from like seagulls? So I'm gonna take like a big bite out of it, and a bird's gonna like dive bomb it, and it's just about to hit it, like flashes, and they like slam into like a fake window that appears in front of it, and then there's
This
a dead
protects
bird.
you more from like Steve at work, who's like gonna open the fridge and like take someone's food, you know?
That's what I was thinking too. Like you're kind of like witchy, like blessing your bread so that everyone else is kind of like avoiding it or unable to even touch it.
It has a glamour that makes it invisible to all but the worthy of your sandwich.
Yes, of my sandwich. With this half moon bread, anything's possible. I guess with the right witchcraft. Anyway, so that's what I've got for you tonight is a Ursaluna salad sandwich on full moon bread.
Because this bread is so thick, are we thinking open face?
Oh, interesting.
I'm somewhat of an open face tuna salad person.
With so it's just like
yeah,
kind
like
of toast?
like 2 pieces of bread is like too much, you know? I
Okay.
just want it kind of on a platter that I can also eat.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
The edible platter.
Yeah. And
But not like with a fork and knife.
No. You're just chowing down, but you don't need the
Okay.
extra calories. That's too much.
Okay. See, for my mind, it's like it does need a second, like half of it to like make it transportable, or like like a convenient kind of like lunch sandwich
sure,
that you would pack away. But I could imagine that like just for like some home snacking, that being a convenient way to do it for sure.
Well, so then what's the difference between an open-faced sandwich like that and just like a piece of toast with like all of your sandwich fixins just sitting on top of it?
Not much, really. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all good. I mean, other than
Okay,
like maybe just
work.
not toasted.
okay.
So that, yeah.
I feel like if I'm having an open face sandwich, and this is a generalization, it's usually like it's hot and the bread is like a little stiffer to support the elements on the sandwich. So it's usually like toasted kind of situation. But Ben, bread bowl, like just make a full moon, and it's like a spherical, like the moon of bread.
Just like Ursaluna salad in it.
It's just filled.
It's more of a
And it's
dip
like-
at that point.
It's like a pouch, and it doesn't have to be super big. It can be like just this big, like the size of maybe like a billiard ball. But it's
I can't say I agree with that.
I don't banish that from your thoughts. Don't associate that with my recipe at all. That was that's like one of these Jeremy red herrings that he sends people down on.
He's just trying to sabotage you.
This is a sandwich, that true blooded red-blooded American tuna salad sandwich,
Yeah.
okay, but with ground Ursaluna.
Yeah, I bet someone working
So-
on a construction site in the 1920s, they're like sitting on a girder. They open their lunch
Yeah,
pail,
absolutely.
and they pull out a big sandwich. They take a bite, and a bit of it falls off and like hits someone on the bottom of the workstation. That's what I
Hey,
imagine.
I'm walking here.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the vibe. It's it's giving lunch break. It's giving sustenance.
It is.
And when you go on your lunch break, which you work up from home, so that can be at any time, are you like time
Yeah.
for sustenance?
It's more of my body being like, you should have sustenance, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And then I wait a couple hours, and then I'm like, nah, yeah, you're right. I should do something about this. It's not like I clock in, clock out, and like the little steam like whistle blows, and I'm
yes.
like, oh boy, time to chow down. It's
I don't know,
Not
Ben.
as
You should get
predictable.
one of those just to try it out for a little bit.
yeah.
It is
I
important
could.
to have structure when you work from home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like an old-timey whistle would really
does the trick.
give me the encouragement to
You
stick
know
to
how
it.
there's that app where this was a while ago where you could ask somebody to send you an alarm. So
Yeah.
they would have like
What?
so what it was is that you'd have the app, and then in your contacts you could say someone to be like, wake me up at this time, and that's what the app was, is that someone else would wake you up kind of situation.
So it was like an
One of your
accountability
contacts?
thing?
Yeah. So it's like I would tell Ben through the app, wake me up at this time, like wake me up at 7:30 on Friday kind of situation.
But
And-
why would
what
they
if I
do
didn't?
that?
Imagine,
but then-
imagine
and then
the,
and Ben would like hit a button in the app, and it would like play an air horn on my phone.
it's
on
all
the other side.
thrill of like 2003 hotel concierge, like among your friends.
Yeah. But it's it's supposed to like build like relationships. Anyway, what I'm saying is that maybe we should have a lunch app.
That's supposed to build relationships. That would ruin relationships for me. If I had my friends messaging me and blowing like air horns through my phone at 7 a.m, like we'd be done. We wouldn't be friends anymore. And I don't think I'd be their friend either if I asked them to do that.
This does kind of this is not at all similar. I don't know why or who thought that could be an idea that people would want. I just don't understand that at all. But it does kind of remind me of a prank that in college our friends did to one of their roommates, which they had like a giant speaker like under their bed, and then before they went to bed they turned it on and they like cranked it up really loud, and then in the middle of the night they like turned on Death Grips, like a song where he's just like yelling in the middle of the night, and got him real good.
I love that.
And that seems like that's on par. That's like the kind of energy that you're trying to get at with this app, except what is like? What if the other person doesn't do it? Like, then it's a broken app, right? Like,
Well, then you know
nothing-
you can't trust them.
Yeah, break off that friendship right then.
Yes.
I don't like that this app is just trying to break people up. That doesn't sit right with me. That's not cool.
Well, I gotta set an
If they were
alarm.
really
to-
your friend, they'd wake you up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. But my point is, what if we made an app that was remind people to have lunch kind of situation, where it's like
That would be good.
yeah, where it's
Self-care,
like
check in on your friends.
yeah, it's like 1 o'clock and you're like, oh boy, lunchtime, and you like push a button and like
That's
an old tiny
manageable.
whistle blows, and you're like, I'm clocking off, and even though if you work from home, Ben, you can be like, I'm clocking off, and then you walk into your kitchen.
Yeah.
I will say it does always make me feel better when I see my roommate make lunch, because then I'm like, oh, what a good idea. I should eat food. Like, I
Yeah.
guess I haven't eaten yet today.
It has the accountability of like Be Real, where you have to take a really terrible selfie of you eating whatever you're eating for lunch. Yeah.
That's just embarrassing. At that point, I just don't even open the app. I don't want all my friends to think that I'm like some person who can't eat a real meal.
I mean, that's most people's
That's-
lunch, honestly. Just whatever's thrown together.
I know.
Yeah.
That app, broken concept. People are still going to pose for it anyway. It doesn't matter how real you are.
So real.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how real you are.
Well, speaking of real, let's move on to the next recipe, which is from Evan. Evan, what is your recipe this week?
My recipe, I'm going real hard on the bear theme this week. Not the bear the show, but just bears in general. So it's kind of a combination of things because I thought they were both really good. So I of course, did some deep research into just bear recipes, eating bear, all of that kind of stuff. And the first thing, not what you would expect, but is called a bear share and tear, which is basically a pastry that is like baked in a circle, and they're all little bear faces, and you like pull them off, and they're very cute. That's why I went the like Care Bear route to start the show.
So
It's
so
very
it's
adorable.
like, is it like a loaf of bear faces? Then you grab each one individually.
Yeah, so
and
here's
eat
here's
it?
what I'm thinking is it's very much like think like barbecue pork or barbecued bear in this case, like dumplings, right? The steamed kind of dumplings that are kind of nice and breaded, and I imagine
yeah.
those just like look like a nice cute little bear. And on the inside you've got some bear ham, which is made of actual bear. It doesn't just look like bear.
But it's called bear ham.
Oh yeah, it's called bear ham.
Okay.
Looks pretty good, honestly, and it's basically you've got like this brined piece of bear meat, and then the brine is like your classic water, salt, brown sugar, mustard seed, peppercorn, some juniper berries, bay leaves, garlic,
interesting.
and
Whoa.
Prague powder. I don't know what that is.
You play some
shit.
yes while you're.
You like leave that to sit for 24 hours or whatever. You take that out. And then you just kind of coat it in maple syrup because we're doing a maple glazed bear ham.
Because it's a bear.
Oh.
Of course, they love that. And then it basically carves like a Christmas ham, and then you just kind of cut that into chunks, and then stuff that into your puff pastry dumpling deal.
Whoa.
And the pastries themselves, the dumplings have a bear face on them. Am I
Yeah,
understanding
you
this
like
correctly?
you get little. I don't know. It would be fun. I don't want to say raisins because that doesn't really fit the vibe, but just like something to make little fun eyes and a nose, right? And you got like the little ears. So yeah, just little bear faces that you can.
Well,
just,
they could
like,
just
tear
be
apart.
different colored pieces of
Yeah,
dough.
sure.
Dough.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so cute.
Would you feel bad eating them because they're cute?
No, absolutely
No.
not. I'll be the first person to tell you I see a gummy bear and I eat it head first.
That is the only way to eat a gummy bear.
Yeah.
I guess my question is if you see a food item that is intentionally cute or like very designed and arranged, do you ever feel like some consternation about eating it because you're like, oh, so much detail went into the way it looks?
No, that's where I let the intrusive thoughts win.
Eat.
If I'm really
Bite.
torn up about it, I'll take a picture of it and then I can look at it later.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
probably going to be a lot better in my tummy.
There you go.
Yeah. Excellent. I don't. The word bear ham really
Yeah.
is strange.
Got real like
Yes.
Heathcliff energy.
Yes.
does. Oh my god. That is wild because it's like obviously someone was like, this kind of reminds me of ham, but like I kind of need to go like all like whole hog on this ham for it to get like to ham levels of flavor.
It's pretty legit. Like that looks
God,
like a
it does
Christmas
look like
ham
ham.
to me.
That does look
What?
that it's bear ham.
Sorry, it's blurry. It is bear ham.
Bear ham.
Wow.
Try to focus it on my face. There you go.
Yeah.
So I did that.
I mean,
That's
I would give it a
so
try. I've heard from people that bear doesn't taste very good as a meat. It's kind of stringy and mealy, so it doesn't really like hold together super well. But hey, if someone put all this effort into this bear ham, I'd give it a spin. I don't know if I'd like it, but I'd give it a spin.
I don't know if I could stomach that, to be honest. Eating a bear and knowing how cute its little ears were and everything, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Here's how I feel: a bear would eat me, so I would.
But that's his prerogative.
Yeah.
Like, he's allowed to do that. I don't think I'm allowed. I don't know, man. I don't think that's the way that, like, God intended this to work.
They're bringing grizzly bears back into the U.S. just so we can turn them into hams.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's like the general thing that people don't generally eat other carnivores kind of situation as a kind of rule of food thumb. This is not always the case. There's specialized food items like if you eat in some countries dog or snake, things like that. Those are carnivores, but it's kind of like carnivores generally have less fat in their meat, and they're a lot leaner, so the meat is tougher kind of situation. So it's a little harder to actually eat them as animals.
Yeah, I've only really heard about it as far as like a survival thing or like indigenous cultures kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Yeah, you don't think of it as like an actual real meat source. So that is interesting that you found something. Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting much, but that was a pleasant surprise.
And it wasn't a joke like the moth guy who's like make a cubic foot of moth compilation to eat.
Yeah.
No.
Must have missed that one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we got deep
We
into the
find a
depths.
lot of interesting websites.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And what's great to find these websites is all you have to like Google is animal recipe, and then like some weird blog from the mid 2000s will come up and be like, yes, I'm Swedish, and I've compressed moths into a fine paste that you can use to like as an energy supplement kind of situation. And you're like, wow, the world's a fascinating place.
Yeah. Y'all's, like, site search must be, like, crazy.
I
Like,
will-
your search history has to be insane.
Well, I go into incognito mode when I search because sometimes it's like
That's smart.
eat rare animal
Wow.
kind of situation.
Wow. Oh my god, I did not even realize that the rest of us, I assume, are basically out here putting our own like search data on these shady ass websites. Not Jeremy though.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to poison the algorithm, if you will.
Someone has media literacy.
But now, I got to be honest with all y'all. The Google AI thing, it's kind of ruining the funky website situation because you're like, cook bear, ? And then AI is like, if you put glue in bear, you can eat it kind of situation.
Yep.
And it's like,
no.
it's not what I want. I'm sorry, Google AI.
Man, remember like a year and a half ago when all that stuff was brand new and we were like, let's make it like have it write recipes and the AI doesn't know about food and
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
Here we are now.
So sad.
AI is going to be the death of me and all of my artist friends, and I am not ready to give it up.
Yeah. Well, the robots can't
It's
make anything.
crazy.
They can't make. Look, and this is my opinion, but the robots can't intentionally make anything that's good. So
No, that's true.
there's some fun, weird stuff
Intentionally.
like I don't know, you guys, if you remember Infinite Seinfeld, where it was like they just fed it the scripts of every episode of Seinfeld, and it was like here's like fake versions of Seinfeld. That was actually pretty amusing, but in the fact that it was like really janky and weird and like couldn't like properly form a joke. but like kept trying, and that's kind of something. That's all I'm saying.
AI is only good for that and Balenciaga Harry Potter. That's like, I don't know. Oh, that's a deep cut, but
Yeah, I don't know that.
oh
yeah,
man.
I unfortunately also don't know what this is.
Well, future
Is it
Ben,
like Balenciaga Pope?
Yeah, no, future Ben, cut in the video into the TikToks, please.
I'm not familiar either. Anyway, my recipe this week. So I feel like on I Choose You, we approach recipes from two different angles. One is the what is the Pokemon, and how could we realistically eat it theoretically, and then work from there. And the other way is through a pun from the title of the Pokemon and the food item. Mm-hmm. So this week's Pokemon is Ursaluna, and we're going to make some Ursalinguini for our recipe this week. Nice.
Okay.
And I will say, I was staring at a wall and that word came to me, and I was like, I don't know if that's a thematically appropriate recipe for this Pokemon, but it is going to be what we're cooking up this recipe. Now, the thing with linguine is that it's a fairly light pasta, so you usually don't want a bunch of meat in it. Right. So I was like, I don't want to just put bare chunks in it, because I think that'll kind of overload the dish. How can I approach this in a way that seems more fanciful? And I think I've got an answer. In the regular Ursaluna, it kind of has the moon shape on its forehead with the kind of clouds going in front of it. What I'm going to be presupposing here is that that's the spicy meatball of the Ursaluna kind of situation. And it's got some...
You know how most animals have the spicy meatball portion of
spicy
their body?
Every animal has one section where oh, that's so good. This is so nice. When you eat it kind of situation. And it's different on every animal. Maybe it's just a flank steak, or maybe on another one it's their heart, or another one it's the liver kind of situation. It changes from animal to animal. And in this case, you're so nice that moon thing. And I'm kind of imagining that it will provide an extra zip, a zing, a zest to our recipe, which is going to be this Parmesan garlic linguine. It's very straightforward. You're going to roll out your pasta dough kind of situation. And linguine is... It's not as thin as spaghetti. It's a little thicker than that, but you're going to roll it out. You're going to cut it. If you have a pasta cutter, I don't know if you guys have ever cut pasta where you got that little thing that you turn through the sheets. It's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. So if you ever have a cooking party, I don't know if you guys have. We have done that where it's we're all kind of making the same thing together kind of situation, but it's a fun situation. Mm-hmm. But I think it gives because this recipe is very simple, so I think it gives it a bit of fun extra element to it. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna make your linguine. You're gonna get that ready to go, and then you're gonna create the Parmesan garlic sauce. So you're gonna get the heavy cream, some garlic, some salt and pepper, and you're gonna take some of the. This recipe calls it cooking liquid from the pasta. So when you make your pasta in boiling water, you know how it becomes kind of starchy. The water when you're cooking it. So you're going to take some of that, which they call cooking liquid, and apply it to your sauce as well. And then we're going to get the Ursaluna moon, pop it off of their forehead. So this is a humane carnivore dish. And we're gonna kind of zest it like a lemon and incorporate that into our sauce kind of situation. And I think that will give this kind of an extra oomph behind it situation, but it's not going to be super overbearing. It's just going to have a little bit of zip to it, which I think will be fun. And then we serve it, and then you get the waiter who's like, do you want any extra cheese on top? And you say yes, and then they start grating, and they don't stop, and you never say that's enough. Yeah. And they go through their whole wedge of Parmesan kind of situation.
And they have to go get another one from the kitchen.
Yes. I don't know if you guys have ever gone through a whole wedge of Parmesan like that, but it's definitely an experience.
Oh, man. That reminds me of, Tori just showed me this thing the other day of the most cursed sandwiches at Subway. Basically, it was this woman recounting the sandwiches she's made for somebody. And one was just cheese and ranch. And they were just keep squeezing on the ranch. And then it was they were just more. more, and then just was like they were just recounting on how like sopping wet this sandwich was as they were trying to roll it up. It was just like,
What kind of cheese was it?
like provolone or some shit. I don't know.
Nice.
No.
Oh my god, that's
First-
horrific.
First, that doesn't sound very good. Secondly, you're just gonna have like the worst shits after eating this sandwich that is just ranch and cheese.
But
Just sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that makes me ill to think about.
Well, and it's not like they charge by the topping, right? I mean, you're still paying fucking $6, $8
all
for
the
this
ranch you
ranch
could eat,
sandwich.
yeah.
That's
Like,
what
what
you
the fuck?
want, Ben. And look,
That's like the only upside to getting food at Sonic or someplace like, or not Sonic,
Subway.
or someplace like it is that you can get as many toppings, hypothetically, as you want, right? And pack it full of veggies and
Meats.
everything. You're not playing the right Subway game.
I also
if you're just getting ranch and cheese.
yeah, I definitely
guess is what I'm trying to say.
100% feel like you could make that sandwich for cheaper. Like if you just
Right.
like,
Oh,
for
if you
sure.
like buy the
Definitely.
ingredients, if you go to a Costco and you buy like a gallon of ranch and like a bunch of like baguettes and some provolone cheese, you probably could get those every day of the week.
But Jeremy, there's people that just really get off on the power you have from being able to say when, you know, and not saying it. You're like,
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if this had happened in someone's private residence, I'd be like, you know what? It happens to everyone, right? We have limited ingredients to make sustenance happen, right? Maybe
We all
the
gotta get
best
creative
thing-
sometimes.
We all gotta have to get creative. Maybe the only thing that makes sense in the moment is bread plus cheese plus ranch dressing. But I think you're right, exactly, Evan. Is that it's more about the power to say, I know you have unlimited range back there, and I will tell you exactly how much will go on there.
I just feel bad for whoever had to make that sandwich because that means that they're the person who was like being powered over.
Oh, yeah,
like
they were-
how
Right.
horrible, how like demoralizing to be like, I'm still pouring ranch. Like that's oh my god,
one
how
of the things was
embarrassing.
like, my soul left my body as I grabbed the next bottle of ranch dressing.
Very that. Yeah. No, I would feel the exact same way. I've done my time in customer service. That would be the day I quit. Like I couldn't take it anymore.
So anyway, lots of parm. Love it.
Excellent. All right, let's review our recipes, and then Emma, you will decide the winner. Hopefully, a familial bias won't play into it this week, but we will see. From Ben, we have an Ursaluna sandwich. From an Ursaluna salad sandwich, excuse me. From Evan, we have Ursaluna ham dumplings, and from me, we have Ursalunguini. So, Emma, please declare us a winner.
Well, I will say, unfortunately, a familial bias will not be taking place today because, Ben, if you really knew me, Ursaluna salad sandwich is at the bottom of the list of things that I would eat, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was not like it was crafted more for the art, not for the audience.
Absolutely, and I respect the art of it, but I will not be eating that sandwich.
Yeah, no, it's not an Emma sandwich for sure.
It's not for me. I do have to say, from the moment that you said, like, tear apart bear bread, you already kind of sold me, like, right then and there. So I am gonna have to go with Evan's recipe for the bear ham, Care Bear, tear apart bread.
I mean, the phrase bear ham is very powerful.
It's so powerful.
It really is. I mean, I don't know if it would be
mean-
good, but, like, I want to try it, maybe. At least your version of it.
We're all definitely walking away from this episode knowing something more about this.
About bear ham.
Yeah, we all learned something today, for sure.
All right. Well, thanks, Emma. Even though I didn't win, I'm glad Evan got your blessing this week.
I do want to say, I had a mini recipe, not a fully thought out one,
yeah.
but I
Okay.
do want to share.
Okay.
Jeremy, we were on a very similar wavelength, I feel, with the, like, fruit situation, this, like, moon thing in the front of the brain, I guess.
Jeremy opened with it being the spicy meatball
So sorry.
Pokemon. So
So
I don't
sorry,
know if we
so
can,
sorry. The spicy
fruit of the
meatball
cranium.
of That's how I was thinking of it, was like a little fruit.
Yeah.
I assumed that I could like pluck that little guy right out and squeeze it like a little orange.
Yeah.
And make like a little cocktail, like a little Ursaluna like cocktail situation.
Nice.
All right.
Well, that will definitely
Yeah.
be our after dinner digestif. So I think that will be.
Yeah, I feel like it would pair well with all of these.
It's like that really
100%.
When the
crazy.
Luna is out,
Oh yeah.
it's time
Yeah.
for Ursaluna drink.
It's like that really crazy. I think it's a tequila bottle. I don't know. I've seen it at some bars, but it's this very intricate, like porcelain white tall thing. I'm just imagining like finding a bunch of like moon-shaped liquor bottles at a bar or something.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, if I went to a bar and I saw like a moon shape back there, that'd be the first thing I'm ordering. I'd say, "What is that? Pour it."
I don't care what it is.
How much is it? I don't know. Pour it.
I like that. That's a good. Yeah, I feel like the drink aspect of this wasn't covered by any of our recipes,
No,
so that's a good compliment to everything.
Love a good little themed cocktail.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't deny that sometimes I'm won over by like novelty mixed drinks at restaurants where I'm like, that seems fun. And I get it. And sometimes it's just like whatever, but it's like, it's fun. It's got a weird bit. Like I went to this restaurant.
You are not immune to novelty mixed drinks at restaurants.
I'm not immune to them, Ben. Especially if it's like a special occasion. Like I went out to eat for Thanksgiving kind of situation, and the restaurant we were at had this drink where it was like 3 different colors. It was like green, yellow, blue kind of situation, like stacked on top of each other. And I was like, that's fun. What? Well, I'll give this a gander. That was actually pretty good, so can't deny it. But it did have the problem where it's like once you like had your straw and you moved it around a bit, it kind of just turned brown. But
It's all mixed together. Yeah.
That's the thing with those layered drinks. They only stay layered for like 5 seconds, and then you drink it, and then it's suddenly just brown.
yeah,
It's whatever color it would turn.
So good though.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the next section, which is Whale Lord's Mail Horde, where we read your email sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. We have no new emails this week. We're kind of out of whack with our recording schedule, but that makes sense. I do want to point out from earlier that the recipe that Connor sent in last week for Stonejourner that was like a song is a real song about how great Stonehenge is, and
Nice.
and I just did not recognize what it was, but it was a real song. It wasn't just some like weird fever dream we had.
Oh no, I mean I figured it was a real song, a parody of some sort. I just didn't know the reference,
Yeah.
but
Well, way
It was
out.
giving
there you go.
songs,
Yes,
for sure.
The song is called Stonehenge and is by a band called Ilvis, like Elvis with a Y. Ilvis.
there you go.
There you go. And 2 people knew what that was. So congratulations. All right. Let's move on to the next section where we pick next week's Pokemon. I call it Pick-a-mon. Evan, could you give me a randomly generated number between 810 and 905?
All right. Next week is 885.
885. I'm going to scroll down to where that is. Have we done this already? 885 is, this is actually pretty good, is Dreepy, which is the first evolution of the dragon Pokemon this week. This generation. Dreepy.
Oh, that's cute.
He's so cute. Are you joking?
I actually really
pretty
like the
cute.
dragons because in this evolution line, because it's an airplane. It becomes
Yes.
like a jet.
Well, it like becomes a missile for the next evolution.
Yes.
One. It like becomes a full-on projectile.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's
This
a
is-
ghost too.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
this
like
is
a-
kind of what I was hoping the dragons on House of the Dragon would look like in my ideal world. Like they would just be these little guys that are like hee 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 hee. Like
Little guys.
there's nothing I love more than a little guy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Game of Thrones world is not really stuffed to the gills with fun little guys. Anyway, that's been the main portion of the show, if you will. Ho ho. Let us now do plugs. Where can we find you on the internet, Ben?
You can find me on the internet on Twitter and Instagram, I guess, on at Ben C. Montoya. And you can listen to Hang Up, or you can follow me on Tumblr too at thefearnow.tumblr.com. And you can listen to Hang Up, which is a show I worked on, and the second season is fully out right now, so you can listen to all of it, and it's awesome and amazing. So go check it out. Hang Up.
All right, Evan, where can we find you?
You can follow me on posts at _van. You can also follow me on Instagram at _Mesa Studio _ and watch as I try to make a movie.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Evan sent us some fun background details, and I'm like, we're like, you go, Evan.
I'm going.
Making a movie.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Emma, where can we find you on the internet?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Emma Marie Montoya. You can also follow me on Twitter at Emma M. Montoya. You can follow my Substack, where I talk about queer music, if I ever bother to write something in the near future, but hopefully I will. I'm working on a piece about closeting right now, which I think is very interesting. So to get updates on that, you can follow me at Music with Emma Marie on Substack. And for Bimboification Sketch Show, you can follow us at Bimboification Sketch Show on Instagram, and then at Bimbo Production on YouTube. And like I said, DM us and tell us that we're really hot and funny, and we'll send you the link to the full show before it's released to the public.
Excellent. Oh,
And
man.
there are a lot of really funny sketches that probably won't get posted on YouTube, so it's worth it to get the full experience, I think.
I believe the one that you're thinking about, we maybe already have posted it.
Oh, you gotta
Unless you're thinking of
hold
something
back
else.
a little bit for the people.
Yeah, there's a few that I was like, I don't know if this is going to get posted on YouTube. This feels a little too much for the censors, which is why it's on Vimeo.
Yeah.
No, you're allowed to do drugs on the internet now, so
Okay.
Allowed.
you are. No, we had a whole debate over it. You're allowed to do drugs on YouTube, and that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking so much. Well, I was thinking about that one. I was thinking about the one where one person tries to clone their genitalia.
Oh, yeah. I never really thought twice about that. That might not be able to
I don't
go.
know I will stay on YouTube for that much longer.
You just gotta check the
or
not
if
for
it gets
kids
posted.
box. I don't know.
Yeah, too hot for two.
Yeah. No, I think because I've just seen it so many times, I'm like, it doesn't look like a dick. It's fine. Like, you can just, it doesn't even look like anything, really. But yes, check out Bimboification. It is very special and very funny, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Velocity Prime 1. You can follow me on Tumblr at Velocity Prime No 1. You can check out my writing at the-avocado.org. That's the-avocado.org. Jeremy Zulik, head on over. And that's this week's show. This has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can get us on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify are your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our official I almost said YouTube page again. I'm sorry. You kept saying YouTube earlier and it got me wigged out. Our official social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Threads, and Blue Sky. If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, join the I Choose You Discord. Links are available on the episode description. Head on over, submit recipes, hang out with fellow choosies, and participate in community events, all on the I Choose You Discord. Last but not least, head on over to our official website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and official merch store where you can purchase the excellent Pokey Burger t-shirt. That's ichooseyou.menu. It sounds like, Emma, there's a giant thunderstorm happening in Chicago right now.
That was a storm?
There is now.
I didn't even know that it was raining.
What the hell?
That genuinely, my heart's pounding right now.
At least your power didn't go out or anything. That would be dramatic.
That would have been a very spooky way to end this very spooky episode.
I assume it's thunder unless there's a giant truck going 80 on the road below you.
No, I did see lightning flash in my little window here for a second, and I was like, that wasn't lightning, and then it did that. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
a very dramatic conclusion to this week's episode of I Choose You. And I have been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zelig.
Been your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Evan Aubrey.
And this week's special guest,
Emma Marie Montoya, your favorite bimbo.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for listening. Until next week, to all the radio listeners to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
I wanna be the greatest chef, like no one ever was. To cook them is my real test, to taste them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the flavor that's inside. I choose you, gotta cook 'em. It's you and me. Better than Jeremy, I choose you. Oh, we're your best friends. In this world we must digest. I choose you, gotta cook 'em all. Our appetite will pull us through. You roast me and I'll roast you. I choose